Chapter 17 Star Lianzhu, Awakening of Abilities. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 17 Stars, Awakening of Powers. According to the detection of astronomy experts, the 7 stars will be fully formed at o'clock tonight. 7 stars is an extremely rare astronomical phenomenon. From 1 to 3000 AD, there were 39 occurrences of 7 stars. Astronomy enthusiasts from all over the world have great expectations and preparations for this. Because of the rarity of 7 stars, today's internet is extremely lively. In addition to astronomers and astronomy enthusiasts, many people who don't know and care about astronomy are also concerned about this matter, nothing else. Just because in many novels, 7 stars is an opportunity, what if you can travel through or awaken some special ability? Of course, this is just a joke, but life is already so difficult, you always have to leave some room for fantasy. I didn't see the 7 stars Lianzhu before the time travel, but I will see it after the time travel. But it's hard to say whether you can see it or not. Bai Xian turned off the TV, smiled self-deprecatingly, stared blankly at the front, and didn't know what he was thinking for a moment. He is not from this world, although the planet under his feet is also called the Earth. His parents are also his parents in his previous life, and his experience from childhood to adulthood is also similar to his previous life. But he clearly understands that this world is different from the world in his previous life, because the animation in this world is. Short of Catty and short of 2, Bleach, Hokage and pirates are there, but there are no Conan, Crayon Shin-chan and Pokemon. There are Ultraman such as Tiga, Dinah, and Gaia, but there is no Kamen Rider, and there is no Super Sentai. Not only animations in island countries, but also in other countries including China. Well, Hututu should be very happy. After all, without Crayon Shin-chan, his life will be much more comfortable. As for other than the animation industry, Bai Xian didn't pay much attention to entertainment, because in his previous life, he had developed a habit of not watching TV dramas, even movies, and variety shows after he went in a different direction because of the entertainment trend. Once a habit is formed, it is very difficult to change it. The only thing he can be sure about is the music. Except for the disappearance of some anime theme songs, there is not much change. Of course, it may also be related to the fact that the songs he listens to are not many anyway. The songs he was familiar with were still there. In terms of history, there is also no difference from the previous life. The 3 emperors and 5 emperors, Emperor Qin, Han and Wu, and even the wars in recent years have not changed at all. It seems that before him, there were no traversers in this world. Is this a good thing or a bad thing? Bai Xian shook his head. This is not something he should think about. Picking up the phone to check the time, it was only 3 hours before the 8 o'clock of 7 stars, but it was drizzling outside the window. Sure enough. Shrugging his shoulders, Bai Xian was not too surprised by this. From childhood to adulthood, no matter in the previous life or the present life, whenever such a rare astronomical phenomenon appeared, the city where he lived was either cloudy or rainy. This is true whether it is a transit of Venus, a total lunar eclipse or a meteor shower. He even suspects that the sky is targeting him. He had thought about today when Qixing Lianzhu reported, and now it seems that it is as expected. Ah! Cursing his lips, Bai Xian lay on the rocking chair and slowly closed his eyes, and unconsciously fell asleep with the sound of rain. Time passed slowly, and in Bai Xian's sleep, the hour hand quietly pointed to 8 o'clock, and the clouds in the sky gradually dimmed. At the same time, the 7 solar planets in the solar system, including Gold, Wood, Water, Fire, Earth, Uranus, and Neptune, are also arranged in a straight line along the ecliptic at this moment. Boom! At the moment when the 7 stars are connected, an energy that exists between illusion and reality that no one or even the country has observed, quietly goes straight to the Earth. Ding! The keyword of fantasy works has been detected. Earth. In the analysis of the Earth's energy, no mystery has been found, and there is no obvious gap in the luck of life, which does not meet the invitation rules. Detect traces of world consciousness, start communicating. Successful communication. Spiritual recovery begins. In the city of Hangzhou on Earth, Bai Xian, who was immersed in his sleep, suddenly felt a strange feeling. The blurry dream in his sleep suddenly became clear, but it seemed that the background had changed. the vast and ancient land, the green and solemn forest full of vitality, the majestic mountain peaks that go straight into the sea of clouds, a whole new world caught his eyes. In the dark, a kind of emotion that cannot be described in words but deeply engraved in the soul makes Bai Xian feel confused. Sky, sea of clouds, forest, mountains, sea, stream. He stared dimly at the sights that were close at hand but out of reach. His heart was sore, and he couldn't help but want to cry. Indistinctly, a formed eye appeared above the sky at some point, looking down at the world, and with its appearance, countless golden soft lights gathered from all over the world, condensing into a series of rules of heaven and earth, which seemed to express submission. No, it's not just surrender, there are other emotions, joy of birth, love of this world, and admiration and worship of the Creator. He didn't know why he could see so many things, but now he didn't want to think about anything, he just wanted to watch, forever. Never had he felt so good for a moment. The fainting in the soul seemed to be washed away, and the impurities in the body were also discharged, as if a seed had condensed in the body, and under the light of this gaze, the seed gradually began to germinate and grow. He didn't understand what it was, and he didn't know what kind of fate he had experienced. He just felt that those untouchable scenes began to show him closeness and love. Crack, that the world in front of him suddenly shattered. Bai Xian suddenly opened his eyes, stood up from the rocking chair and took a big breath of oxygen. What was that just now? A dream? Or some kind of mystery? The possibility of a dream is too small and too clear. What I saw just now, I don't think I have the ability to make such a dream. But if it's mysterious, why did you find me? Because I'm a time traveler. Bai Xian frowned. If it had something to do with his time traveler, why didn't he feel it in the past so many years, but it happened today? Is there anything special today? 7 stars. Could it be related to 7 stars? Glancing at the clock, it was already 10 o'clock in the evening, and it was still drizzling outside the window. Maybe that's not the reason. No, wait, why is this feeling happening? When Bai Xian was watching the raindrops outside the window, the touch and joy that almost rushed out of the dream appeared in his heart again. This involuntary feeling of his body was not friendly to him, even a little frightening. He wanted to know what happened while he was asleep. End of this chapter. Chapter 2 Super Dimension Chat Group. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Ding, the candidate group member has been detected. Bai Xian has regained consciousness. Ding, has the host joined the superdimensional chat group? The sudden mechanical sound made Bai Xian a little at a loss. What did he hear just now? Hyperdimensional chat group. The gold finger of the chat group type in the novel. My time travel. Is it your credit? Bai Xian didn't agree immediately. The arrival of Goldfinger didn't make him overwhelmed by surprise. He had many doubts in his heart and hoped to get answers from the chat group. Ding, the time travel of the host is not the result of the chat group. Ding, the chat group detected the fantasy keyword, Earth, and randomly selected people with high luck to enter the chat group. Since there are no people with outstanding luck on the planet where the host is located, an agreement was reached with the consciousness of the Earth. Ding, the recovery of spiritual energy will be initiated by the chat group, and the consciousness of the Earth will divide part of the power of the world to all creatures on the Earth, and the chat group will select the person with the strongest luck. Ding, the host's ability to awaken authority has been detected. Naturally, he is the most lucky person on Earth, so he invites the host to join the chat group. The voice without the slightest emotion in the chat group said in Bai Xian's ear. So my time travel has nothing to do with you. Bai Xian frowned. This was really beyond his expectation. The reason why the chat group will find him is also because of luck, but the Earth consciousness, spiritual energy recovery, etc. The reason for making such a big noise is to select a person with high luck as a group member. Moreover, the disparity between the rich and the poor on the Earth is so great, and the rights are held in the hands of very few people, because the people who stand in the big wind and are blown into the sky are one after another. In this situation, you tell me that there is no obvious difference in luck between the people on the Earth? You tell me what is the gap. Ding, there are no people in this world who are favored by luck, they are all passers-by. Ding, since you are a passerby, what is the difference in luck? Ding, The chat group is also extremely confused about this. The host has the fate of a traveler. According to the data comparison of the fantasy world, even if it is not the protagonist of the era, it still occupies an important position. Ding, but the luck of the host is no different from that of passers-by. Although the voice in the chat group was a cold mechanical voice, it might be due to psychological reasons. Bai Xian actually heard the doubts and puzzles in it, as if he had discovered something inconceivable. Bai Xian has nothing to say about this point. Although he is a time traveler and this world is very different from his previous life, he never thought of changing anything, except for paying attention to physical fitness and maintaining the habit of exercising when he was young. His life trajectory is not the slightest difference from his previous life, going to the same school, making the same friends. There is a little fun in the ordinary, for him. Such a life is not bad. If there is no chat group, his future is probably to find a good job and just continue to be ordinary, nothing to change, nothing to want to change. As for why he has such a mentality, it is probably because he is not very short of money. If he is an ordinary family, and the family savings can't cover a serious illness, then he will definitely rely on the resources he has to work hard to turn around, but the problem is that he is not short of money. Both his parents have their own companies, and the elders are considered powerful in various industries, so there is no need to think about money, but there are good and bad. His parents' marriage was completely broken after he was 14 years old. There is no love in itself, and there is no family relationship for such a long time. It is a matter of course to separate. When he was 15 years old, both parties had their own families, but the money that should be given to him is a lot. The living expenses of 50 or 100 million per month for both parties are enough for him, and he has no special interest in spending money. When I was a child, I also thought about whether to change this ending, but after thinking about it, I thought it was okay. After all, their life after reorganizing their family was quite happy, at least happier than when they were together. He also didn't choose who to follow. In the past, he also saw videos of who he was with after his parents divorced, but in the final analysis, no matter who he followed, as long as his parents had the idea of a second marriage, they were unlikely to be happy. Even if the new family is very good to you, as soon as their children are born, there will be obvious differences between the two. Also, living alone is fine. I usually go to class and go out with my classmates on weekends, so I can't be lonely. Ding, may the host join the chat group. It seems that Bai Xian has been silent for a while, and the chat group started asking him again if he would like to join the chat group. Join. I also want to see if your superdimensional chat group exists that I know. Bai Xian nodded, and then he heard the voice of the chat group in his ears. Group reminder. Welcome to the superdimensional chat group. We are building a group name based on your information. Your group name is Son of Nature. Ding, group member, Son of Nature, joined the chat group. Ding, group members, that's it meow, join the chat group. Ding, group members, Golden Flash, join the chat group. Be my son, welcome newcomers. Be my son, I didn't expect new people to join the group so soon. Uchiha Dance King, I hope this newcomer has good strength, and don't be an ordinary person like the last time. Boil daegu into soup. Boil daegu into soup, I suspect you are implying me, and I have evidence. Boil daegu into soup, welcome newcomers. The worst elf, welcome newcomers. If you doubt the existence of the chat group, you can go to the group file, which contains the world information of each group member. Worst elf, by the way come out to pick up the guests. Ordinary group leader, why do you pick up customers and so on? It sounds so like a procuress in a brothel, but forget it, welcome newcomers. Su Yunqing looked at the newcomers who joined the group this time, and tilted his head. Well, this, Children of Nature, can't think of which works character it is, and, that's it meow, is a bit weird, but it should be Meow from Team Rocket in Pokemon. As for Golden Flash, this is easy to determine. The fourth Hokage Namikaze Minato of Konoha, who is in the same world as the group member Uchiha Madara, seems okay. At least much better than the first time. Thinking of this, Su Yunqing also smiled wryly. She was the first to join this chat group, and became the group leader logically. She thought it was her golden finger, but the chat group told her with facts that she was too naive. Although it is the group owner, the group owner's privileges are gone except for a 7-fold discount. chat group novels do not have the common enlightenment function, and they do not even have the authority to invite and kick people. According to the chat group, every member of the group is found out by thousands of selections. Isn't it because you don't give it face by kicking people? Who is not giving face to whom? The group leader doesn't get any face. Not long after accepting the facts helplessly, the chat group invited 3 people in: the world's strongest man in the world of One Piece, Whitebeard, Shura Uchiha Madara, who singled out the ninja world in Naruto, Madara Uchiha, and the spirit of time who killed 1 people in the world to make up for regrets, Kurumi. These are all ruthless people. End of this chapter. Chapter 3. Ordinary Group Owner. You can call me a traveler. You are listening at novelfull.audio. They're not very nice people to get along with. Needless to say, Uchiha Madara, apart from Senju Hashirama, there is no one in the whole ninja world that he puts in his eyes. Although Whitebeard looks gentle, it is just a look. After all, the 4 pirates, the most domineering people, no one will believe that he is easy to get along with. Of course, you are his son and say otherwise. Not to mention Tokisaki Kurumi, the coquettish and black-bellied character design combined with a sufficiently beautiful face is indeed extremely attractive, but reality and anime are not the same, and in order to make up for regrets, they killed 1 people. Even if most of them are bad people, there are still a small number of ordinary people. It's okay to change the fate of yourself and your friends, but you shouldn't change it by taking the lives of others. Wait, the one who died was an islander who lived a good life on a small day, so it's okay, although the 3 of them are ruthless people. Su Yunshin gets along with them happily, relying on his own understanding of them and the future that never happened. Even Master Madara gave her a pair of Sharingan with 2 hook jade. However, because the exchange system of the chat group has not yet been opened, she cannot control these eyes without Uchiha blood, so she has been placed in the space. The only ones who joined in the second batch were boiled daegu into soup. Dijia was her childhood, and she recognized it at first sight. However, it was only 3 days since daegu joined her side, and she didn't expect a newcomer to join the group so soon. Rubbing his head, he hoped that there would be more members in the group, as the function of the chat group with 10 people would only be partially enabled. That's it. Meow. What is this thing? Why is it in my head? Meow. Golden flash, message in your head. What is this? Golden flash, our world is not the only one. There are countless worlds that are the same as us or even more powerful in the heavens and myriad worlds, and chat groups are the existences that can connect different worlds. Golden flash, it doesn't seem to be an illusion. Namikaze Minato frowned, thinking about the possibility of illusion, but even Uchiha couldn't construct such an illusion, right? Not to mention that his strength is not weak. It is not a simple matter to let him fall into the illusion. Moreover, there should be no ninja in the ninja world who has such a big brain hole to create such an illusion, right? That's it. Meow. Only I can see, neither Musashi nor Kojiro can see. Meow. In the Pokemon world, under the worried eyes of Musashi and Kojiro, Meowth confirmed that they really couldn't see, but Meow Meow's head is not stupid. You 2 bastards don't mess with Meow Meow's head. Crazy scratching. A cross popped out of Meow Meow's head, which was rubbed wantonly by Musashi and Kojiro, and then she couldn't bear it and left scratches on their faces. After a cold snort, it wanted to say something about the chat group, but it couldn't say anything when it came to its mouth. The same is true for Namikaze Minato, ordinary group leader. Meow. Namikaze Minato, that's it. Meow, you know. Meow Meow. Gold flash, you are ordinary group owner. Don't be so polite, I'm just an ordinary group owner. I've already uploaded some information about your world. If you're interested, you can take a look. Ordinary group owner, attention, what I uploaded is only a part. Although I know you well, but because of too much content, it is impossible to remember too much detail. After Su Yunshin finished speaking, he uploaded some copies of the memories of the 2 in his mind. She watched a lot of anime, but almost never watched it from beginning to end. After all, it is important to go to school from childhood, and there is not much time to watch animation, and there are good animations appearing every year, so naturally I will ignore many things. It would be fine if she didn't time travel. She can still rely on the internet to make up for it, but now she has traveled to another world, still a world of high martial arts, and there are no animations in the original world. So, there is no way, boil daegu into soup. I just remembered that there seems to be no information about the king of dance in the chat group. Has the group owner forgotten it? Daegu suddenly thought of this, and asked in the chat group with some doubts, worst elf, shrug.jpg. The most evil elf, the group leader did not forget, but Uchiha Madara refused. Uchiha Dance King, there is no need to care about that kind of thing. Uchiha Dance King, the future of the ninja world will be born in my hands. Ordinary group owner, although it's still a long time, you'd better ask me for it, weak.jpg. Gold flash, ninja world. Wait. Uchiha, golden flash, look at the title of, worst elf, are you Uchiha Madara? Namikaze Minato was a little surprised. He didn't expect that the ancestor of the Uchiha clan, the legendary Uchiha Madara, was also in the chat group, but isn't he already dead? Gold flash, but you aren't already. Be my son, ku la la la, according to the group leader, Uchiha Madara is indeed dead. Be my son, but who said that people who have died can't join the chat group? Be my son, the capabilities of chat groups are beyond our imagination. Uchiha Dance King, sooner or later I will recover from the underworld. Uchiha Dance King, when the time comes. Namikaze Minato changed color slightly when he saw Uchiha Madara's words, and he noticed an incredible possibility in the limited text. It seems that Uchiha Madara's death has a deeper reason, but before he continued to ask, he saw that the group leader started asking another newcomer who hadn't spoken yet. Ordinary group leader, newcomers are bubbling. Ordinary group leader, everyone in the chat group is a good person. Son of nature, are you sure? The corners of Bai Xian's lips twitched a little when he saw the group leader's words, and if the newcomers in the same batch as him were not counted, except for a Daegu, there were 3 other people, 1 tyrant, 1 shura, and 1 sickly girl. Who is the good guy? Ordinary group leader, at least in the chat group. Ordinary group leader, hey, there seems to be something wrong with you. Seeing the newcomers questioning, Su Yunqing scratched his head in embarrassment, turned around for a while, and then seemed to have noticed something, and was stunned for a while. Ordinary group leader, how do you know? No, wait, you are, son of nature, Earth China Hangqing people, you can also call me a time traveler. Son of nature, nice to meet you, fellow. Bai Xian did not hide his identity. From the chat just now, he could see that the group leader did not portray himself as some kind of omniscient and omnipotent persona. There is no charge for uploading the information of group members, and the attitude shown is also extremely friendly. It should be a rare and honest group leader. Of course, the most important thing is that he found out through the chat group that the group leader does not have the right to kick people. In other words, a group leader doesn't even have the ability to kick people. Among so many chat group owners, you are the one he knows the most. End of this chapter. Chapter 4. Isn't it, you still have to go to school after awakening your abilities? You are listening at novelfull.audio. Ordinary group leader. Worst elf. Uchiha Dance King. Be my son. Boil Daegu into soup. That's it. Meow, what happened? Why are you all sending question marks? Golden flash, it seems to be because of the name of the time traveler. Does it have any special meaning? The worst elf, it does have a special meaning, but I didn't expect that there would be new traversers besides the group leader. Be my son, ku la la la, things are getting interesting. Be my son, and it seems that the newcomers also know the future of our world. Maybe they are from the same world as the group owner. Uchiha Dance King, if you are only a traveler, you don't need to be so surprised. After all, there is no rule in inviting group members to chat groups, and they are just random among those with high luck. Uchiha Dance King, what is more important than identity, or what is more interesting after the identity is superimposed? Shouldn't it be the group name of the newcomer? Uchiha Dance King, I don't think I need to explain the meaning of the group name automatically generated by the chat group. Worst elf, agree.jpg. Worst elf, strength, character, ability, title, these are the elements that affect the group name. The most evil elf, the newcomer is called, Son of Nature. This name is incredible. The most evil elf, would you like to talk to us about the newcomers? Not only Tokisaki Kurumi, but also Uchiha Madara, Daiko and even Su Yunqing were all curious about Baishuan's information, traveler. With the same identity as the group leader Su Yunqing, and compared with the group leader who has not yet grown up to be as common as the group name, this newcomer who already has the title of Son of Nature undoubtedly has special abilities. If only this is not worthy of their attention. More importantly, according to Su Yunqing, most of the traversers have their own special gold fingers, which is what they are curious about. Naturally, Bai Xian didn't know their psychology, and he didn't know what the group leader usually said to these people, but even if he knew, he probably wouldn't have too much thought. After all, he doesn't have any golden fingers himself, and his natural authority is nothing in 10,000 realms. If he insists, the chat group can be called Golden Fingers, Son of Nature. It's just a group name, it's not that exaggerated. Children of Nature, Druids, Elemental Magic, and the protection of nature may all be called Children of Nature, but this does not mean that they must have great strength. Son of Nature, and speaking of it, what did you tell them? How do you feel like they know everything? Son of Nature, also, you also crossed from the earth. How did you cross? Ordinary group owner, sorry. JPG. Ordinary group leader, because I don't think I can fool them, so I just deal with each other directly and honestly. Ordinary group leader, hey. Seeing Bai Xian's complaints, Su Yunqing scratched his head in embarrassment, then continued to reply, Ordinary group leader, as for time traveling, I don't know what happened. When I woke up, I came to a new world, and it was the world of high martial arts with revived aura. Ordinary group leader, I heard that top powerhouses can even destroy planets, but I don't know if it's true. Ordinary group leader, by the way, how did you time travel? Ordinary group owner, curiosity. JPG. Son of Nature, it seems irrefutable that you can't lie, even if you are trusted for a short time. As more and more group members join the lie, there will always be a day when it will be broken. Son of Nature, but it's the first time I've seen someone so honest. Son of Nature, my time travel is similar to yours, and it is also an inexplicable time travel. Son of Nature, however, unlike the world of high martial arts you traveled through, my world has only regained its aura today. Child of Nature, oh, by the way, what time is it? Son of Nature, is it already 10 o'clock? Time flies so fast. Child of Nature, let's talk later, I'm going to bed, and I have to go to school tomorrow. Ding, the group member, Son of Nature, has gone offline. Following Bai Xian's departure, a burst of question marks appeared in the chat group. Su Yunqing also didn't know what to say for a while. You are a time traveler, and you just experienced spiritual recovery, and even joined the superdimensional chat group. As a result, while chatting, he actually went to bed and prepared to go to school tomorrow. Can you really sleep, not excited or something? She propped her chin in depression. After all, she was an old acquaintance from another country, and she still had many questions she wanted to ask. Bai Xian didn't have too many thoughts because of the revival of spiritual energy and the appearance of chat groups. No matter what, he still needs to sleep well and study, but should I say or not, the revival of spiritual energy seems to have a big impact. The air in the breath seems to be more and more fresh, and even the quality of sleep has improved a lot. After waking up, Bai Xian looked at the information on the internet while washing up. There is only news about 7 stars and nothing else. It seems that none of those sand sculpture netizens boasted about their awakened abilities on the internet. There may also be ones that have been cleaned up by the state. The chat group said that after I awakened the power of nature, I have the strongest luck among all the people on the earth. But the strongest luck does not mean the strongest ability. Just like the talent of the protagonist in the novel is often weaker than some people, luck does not mean talent, but only being able to go to the end. I don't know what kind of abilities they will awaken, which makes people quite curious. In short, with the recovery of spiritual energy and the awakening of everyone's abilities, the world will definitely become more interesting. I just hope it won't have any bad impact on this country. After all, after gaining strength, many people become more courageous. It's not just humans, those animals and plants will also change due to the arrival of spiritual energy recovery, and they will also affect humans. What the earth will look like in the future, all this needs to wait for time to verify. The only thing is certain, after the recovery of spiritual energy, the world will undergo tremendous changes that have never been seen in thousands of years. Bai Xian shook his head, no longer thinking about these things. The time is almost up, he still has to go to school, now it is an important time in the third year of high school. The teacher is very strict with day students like them, and he dare not be late. End of this chapter. Chapter 5 The most special person in the world, the sudden confidence of classmates. You are listening at novelfull.audio. After going out to the street to buy a breakfast, Bai Xian skillfully greeted the neighbors. While eating, he walked towards the school, and when he arrived at the school, Bai Xian suddenly showed a strange expression on his face. It seems that because of natural authority, he can vaguely perceive the emotions of everyone. How should I put it? Excitement, confidence, arrogance. Even those people who are normally introverted and have a low self-esteem in their hearts have inexplicably started to feel confident. There is a little emotion in their eyes that he can't understand. It may not be appropriate to describe it as superior, but that is what it means. It's like the protagonist knows his identity and treats other people as supporting roles and accessories on the way of growth, belonging to the most special person in the world. It shouldn't be what he thought, right? The corners of Bai Xian's eyes trembled slightly. Could it be that they also awakened a certain ability, and then regarded themselves as the only one who awakened the ability, or even regarded themselves as the protagonist? Then this is definitely too little novel. At the same time, a familiar voice came from behind him. Xiao Bai, good morning. How did you sleep last night? Maybe I'm a bit out of tune with the times, but no one has ever greeted me in the morning and asked how they slept last night. Those who don't know thought I had some activities yesterday. Bai Xian rolled his eyes, turned around and showed a smile. Viagra, you guys should have paid attention to it too. Last night 7 stars Lianzhu. After Zhang Weiyang heard Yi Xian's words, he curled his lips. I really don't know what my father thought of giving me this name. Why didn't he just change my name? I'm not willing to let him take me to change my name. See if I wait until he gets old to pull out his oxygen tube. When I was young, I didn't understand it, but I realized how sorrowful this name is when I grew up. Fortunately, my classmates at this age also understood it more or less, knowing that those 2 words are somewhat insulting to a boy, so I kept restraining myself and tried not to call him that nickname full of meaning. But Viagra is not a good nickname, it's just better than Yang Wei. After making some complaints, Zhang Weiyang continued. I'd like to see the 7 stars, but it's raining too. But do you feel that your body has undergone some kind of change? Having said this, Zhang Weiyang's voice became very small. When I wash my face in the morning, I suddenly find that I can control the flow of water and even make water balloons from the air. Although the damage is not high, I can feel that this ability is slowly increasing with time. When Bai Xian heard this, his eyes lit up slightly, controlling the water flow and condensing the water polo. Isn't this the ability of the water element? Okay, this guy. Then she looked at him suspiciously. Just tell me it's okay. Don't choose to hide. Zhang Weiyang shrugged when he heard this, and then said indifferently. I hid it, so I told you one. And to be honest, I don't think there should be any need to hide it. I don't think I'm the only one who has awakened my ability. How can I have such a big face? Qi Xing Lianzhu made me, a person who didn't even see it, awaken my ability. No. It really does exist. It's just me and not you. Bai Xian said in his heart, if it wasn't for the chat group to choose a group member, there would be no spiritual recovery at all, let alone the awakening ability, and Zhang Weiyang's thoughts are only the thoughts of a small number of people. In Baishuan's perception, most people want to show off their abilities to others, but they are afraid of being caught for research, so they forcefully hide them. Thinking about developing secretly by herself, and then coming out to pretend to be aggressive when she has the power to protect herself. Let's go, get into class. I feel like there's going to be a good show going on. Bai Xian smiled, then walked into the classroom, and glanced around slightly. It's almost like excited, wanting to show off but can't show off. I am the son of destiny, I am the protagonist, in other words written on the face. When I was a student, even though I read a lot of novels and anime, my psychology was still so pure, really interesting, but not everyone can bear it. If you have superpowers and don't look for opportunities to pretend to be aggressive, are you still a teenager? No, under Bai Xian's gaze, the boy sitting diagonally across from him couldn't hold back any longer, and said to the female classmate behind him. Look, I'll show you a magic trick. It's an ordinary eraser, isn't it? Look, get up. In the eyes of the female classmate who was flat and even a little bit, I just watched you quietly and pretend to be aggressive. The eraser floated up tremblingly. Well, it's floating. In an instant, the female student was stunned. Not only she was stunned, but also the classmates who were watching the show were also stunned. Even Bai Xian showed a surprised expression. Is this ability mind power, or gravity, floating ability, or is it the ability of the wind element? No, wind elemental and gravity should not be possible. Bai Xian was endowed with authority of nature, bearing the title of son of nature, and also possessed the ability to manipulate elements. If the other party used the ability of the wind element, it was impossible for him not to perceive it. Gravity is an effect of gravity, and it is the same reason Bai Xian doesn't know much about the ability to float. What he thinks is similar to the fluttering fruit of the golden lion in One Piece, but it doesn't look like it either. So the most likely thing is the power of thought. That's not right. The words about mind power are a bit too exaggerated. If that kind of idealism called infinite power can be developed, it is hard to imagine how powerful it will be. It's just the current appearance, but it's more like telekinetic power. Although it also has the word psychic power, there is still a big gap. On the other hand, the male student who saw the eyes of the whole class widened as if he saw something incredible, showed a smug expression on his face, and then pretended to say. How about it, Lele, are you looking stupid? You just say I am strong or not. 6 or 6. Lele walked out of the daze, then hesitated and said. It's not that stupid, it's mainly because I'm a little surprised. But if it's just that, I seem to be able to do it too. Then, in front of Sun Chang, with a wave of his right hand, it seemed that there was a breeze, and a pencil in front of him floated like a rubber. Nanny? What the hell is this? Sun Chang looked at the pencil in bewilderment, as if seeing a ghost. He looked at Lele, then at the pencil, then his face changed, and he muttered something that everyone couldn't understand. The rise of every protagonist of destiny must be accompanied by an old enemy who opposes him, but why is this old enemy you? That he looked at Lele with gloomy and sad eyes, and Lele was a little speechless. End of this chapter. Chapter 6. Don't pretend, it's a showdown. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Laugh. Ha 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 ha. Hearing his words, Bai Xian couldn't help laughing, and when he smiled, it seemed that he broke something, and the whole class couldn't help laughing. Why is it so funny this early in the morning? Performed a magic trick and was killed by the opponent, and turned into an old enemy. Ha 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 ha. Hey, wait, when did these two guys learn magic, and why do you feel that the magic of these two guys is so wrong? Sun Chang didn't realize what was wrong, but just looked at everyone dissatisfied. What's so funny? Laugh at your old enemy. Even if you take Lele as your old enemy, you are no one else. Bai Xian said with a smile. Isn't it magic? Who knows how to do 2 tricks? Look, your brother Bai will put on a show for you. Saying that, Bai Xian then held the eraser floating in the air. 3 seconds later, the original white eraser seemed to be covered with a layer of gold powder, emitting a golden light. Okay. Sun Chang opened his eyes wide again, with a bewildered look on his face. Seeing his bewildered appearance, Bai Xian couldn't help laughing again. Relying on the authority of nature, he can use all kinds of elements in nature, and the gold element is naturally among them. Although the strength that can be used at present is not high, the advantage lies in the rich variety. And he can also feel that his ability is constantly increasing, and the speed is extremely fast. After all, as a child of nature, he does not need to take the initiative to improve his strength. As long as he is in nature, his ability will increase rapidly. Of course, this speed is limited to the Earth in this world, and after leaving the Earth, this speed will slow down or even stop, but the ability you have mastered can still be used. This is what I learned from the chat group after leaving the group chat last night. Ahem, now that I've reached this level, I won't pretend anymore. I originally wanted to get along with you as ordinary people, but what I got in exchange was alienation. It's a showdown. In fact, I am a person with the ability to burn fruit. Flame, get up. As he said that, a classmate stood up and a flame rose out of thin air in his hand, and a burning sensation rose around him. Since you don't pretend anymore, then I won't pretend either. Sigh, I can't imagine that there are so many superpowers in such a small class, but I'm not an ordinary person. You are all pretending, so I can't pretend. Depressed, I still wanted to hang on, and there was a wave of wretched development, but you are all like this, I can't pretend to be okay. The world has changed drastically, and I can no longer hide my identity. Smash the darkness with thunder. Winter has come, and the ice will never decay. Fuck me, are elements so worthless? Then why am I a beast? You, a man, got animalization. Or rabbit animalization. What a waste of resources. Damn. You think I want to? Following the demonstration of Bai Xian and others' abilities, demons danced wildly in the class, and those who had awakened their superpowers couldn't hold back any longer, and couldn't help showing off their abilities: psychic power, wind element, flame, ice, thunder, and animalization have the most elemental abilities. And Sun Chang, who originally regarded himself as the son of luck, was completely fooled at this time. The emotions in his eyes changed from excitement and showing off to bewilderment, disbelief, bleakness, and finally nothing to love. And you all awaken superpowers. This is different from the script. I thought I was the protagonist. Are superpowers so worthless now? Sun Qiangxing lay down on the table without love, even a little embarrassed. This is no longer pretending to be coercive but being ravaged, but a social death. One by one, I am the only one who didn't hold on, and I became your laughingstock. It's purely because you haven't read too many novels. After awakening your superpowers, you don't even think about what the reason for your awakening is. It's obviously the 7 stars Lianzhu last night. How could the opportunities brought by this astronomical spectacle belong only to those of us who can't even see it, and only awaken one person? Whatever you think about it is for the entire planet. Zhang Weiyang also couldn't help laughing and said, last night, he wondered if some of his classmates would be awakened, but he didn't expect that some awakened ones would pretend to be coercive through magic tricks, and they were reversed. Ha. Hearing Zhang Weiyang's words, Sun Chang, who was originally loveless, now has no love in his life. Not only him, other students who have the same psychology as him and regard themselves as the protagonist, thinking that the whole world is only awakened by themselves, also turned their heads away in embarrassment. At the same time, I would like to thank Sun Chang for his dedication, otherwise they may be the ones who died. Who would have thought that superpowers, which are rare only in novels and film and television works, would suddenly become so common one day? Most people think that they will be the son of destiny. What's more, they are still students in the 3rd year of high school. How can they have so much time to supplement information? Zhang Weiyang and Bai Xian are special, of course, they are still considered good. The most confused people at the moment are those who have not awakened their superpowers. Seeing their classmates using various abilities to pretend to compete, they were full of bewilderment. What? Wasn't it magic? Are you playing for real? Can Qixing Lianzhu awaken superpowers, but why didn't I wake up? The world is quietly evolving without telling me. Bai Xian glanced at about 43 people who were not awakened, people in his class. It can be seen that the proportion of awakened is quite high. As for why not awakened, some people can awaken, and others cannot. It's nothing to worry about. I roughly took a look, and about half of the people in our class have awakened superpowers. And the factor of awakening is like Viagra said, it is because of the 7 stars. According to the novel, what the 7 stars Lianzhu brings should be spiritual revival, and it can't only target us humans, maybe the whole world. So there is no question that what follows is a new era, an era of global evolution. And we are the witnesses and even the pioneers of this era. Based on this, we are really lucky, and we can encounter such a thing in our lifetime. The squad leader couldn't help sighing, and his eyes were full of excitement. This is not just the case with all his awakened superpowers. They are full of longing for the future at this moment, and can't wait to create their own era. As for those who have not awakened superpowers, there will be ordinary people in every era. Perhaps for them, it is just a continuation of the identity of ordinary people. but the future is full of variables. No one can give an accurate answer to their future. End of this chapter. Chapter 7 Analysis of Devil Fruit. Do you have any misunderstandings about chat groups? You are listening at novelfull.audio. Bai Xian sat on the seat and looked at the high-spirited people with a look of nostalgia in his eyes. In his previous life, he seemed to have been looking forward to the future at this age, but forget it, it is nice to have money. Shaking his head, Bai Xian took advantage of this time to enter the chat group to have a look. Ordinary group leader, it's so boring, the hateful world of high martial arts. Why do I want to time travel? Ordinary group leader, just because the aura is revived. Entertainment is not interesting at all. Ordinary group leader, novels are also trash, they are all old stocks. Ordinary group leader, why isn't there a faster-paced genius stream? Child of nature, perhaps, because the people who wrote these novels don't understand the world of geniuses. Son of nature, after all, geniuses in the world of high martial arts should not choose to write novels. Ordinary group owner, depressed. Jpg. Ordinary group leader, it seems to be like this. Ordinary group owner, hey, you're online, have you finished school yet? Su Yunqing saw that Bai Xian's eyes lit up slightly, and asked impatiently, son of nature, accurately speaking, the first class hasn't started yet, and it's morning reading now. Son of nature, it's just that because of the recovery of spiritual energy, many students in the class are a little excited about the awakened ability, so no one pays attention to it in the morning reading. Ordinary group leader, the initial spiritual recovery, and the ability to awaken, I'm so envious. Ordinary group leader, after time travel, I have no abilities at all, woo 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 woo. Ordinary group owner, I don't dare to wear the Sharingan that Madara Lord gave me because I don't have Uchiha blood. Speaking of this, Su Yunqing couldn't help being angry. All the chat groups she knew had optimization functions, which turned chakra consumption into stamina consumption. As a result, this chat group did not exist, nothing at all. You trash chat group, snort. Bai Xian was stunned when he saw Su Yunqing's words, because he didn't have Uchiha blood and dared not wear Sharingan. Doesn't this chat group have an optimization function? Ding, it was detected that a group member, group owner, has doubts about the ability of the chat group. Ding, the chat group red envelope function has initial optimization capabilities, and can also convert the energy consumed by the abilities of different worlds into the energy system of the group member's world, but the premise is that the group member carries energy or has sufficient physical strength. Ding, understand. The voice of the chat group resounded in the minds of Bai Xian and Su Yunqing. Obviously, it was very dissatisfied with their suspicion. It's obvious that you can't do it yourself. You need energy but you don't have energy, you need physical strength but you don't have physical strength, and you still blame me. My chat group does not take the blame. Son of nature. Ordinary group leader. Ordinary group owner, is it talking about me? Son of nature, otherwise? Are you talking about me? Son of nature, don't forget, I have awakened my ability. Ordinary group leader, well, it is indeed talking about me. I'm so sorry that I'm an ordinary person. Whoa. Ordinary group leader, why did I transmigrate into an aura insulator? The aura insulator in the Gaowu era is even more extreme than Xiao Yan in the fighting spirit world. After all, she was able to practice but was sucked in. She was originally a genius, but she couldn't practice at all. Worst elf, ha 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 ha. Worst elf, sorry, I didn't hold back, ha 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 ha. Ordinary group leader, stare.jpg. Be my son, ku la la la, the group leader doesn't need to worry so much. If the group leader doesn't mind the defects of the devil fruit, I can find a devil fruit for the group leader. Boil daegu into soup, why not domineering cultivation method? Although the group leader can't cultivate her world system, domineering shouldn't matter, right? Boil daegu into soup. Oh, the prerequisite for practicing domineering is physical fitness close to the limit of the human body, then it's fine. Obviously, it's not that daegu doesn't know, he just got confused. Ordinary group owner, panda angry.jpg. Ordinary group leader, you guys are too much. Ordinary group leader, although I can't cultivate aura and my physique is very weak, but, well, I'm a waste. Uchiha dancer, pft. He thought the group leader would say something, but he didn't expect it to be a turning point. Golden flash. Have the chakra masters of our world tried it? Ordinary group owner, I tried it, but it didn't work. Ordinary group owner, waving hands. JPG. Worst elf. At the beginning of chakra, the group leader asked Uchiha Madara to try it, but unfortunately it didn't work. Ordinary group leader, I only remembered it later. Chakra is related to the sacred tree. I'm not from Naruto world, so naturally I don't have the qualifications to practice chakra. Worst elf, so at present, if the group leader wants to become stronger, the only option is to take devil fruit. Worst elf, but the defect of devil fruit is a problem that cannot be ignored. After all, for us who joined the superdimensional chat group, as long as we have patience, we don't need to become stronger in this way. Ordinary group leader, I understand this truth, and I'm just complaining. Now the chat group is still in the initial state, and many functions have not been enabled. As more and more members join the group, new functions can be enabled when the group activity level becomes higher and higher. It's not like now, just a red envelope function, who is useful to them. When Bai Xian saw this, he didn't know how to describe it. Although what you said made sense, it wasn't that you underestimated chat groups, child of nature. Actually, even if you eat a devil fruit, there should be no problem. Son of nature, defects and the like can be erased after the chat group has turned on the complete optimization function, but the premise is that it needs enough strength. Son of nature, after all, there must be some price to be paid for using the function of the chat group. For example, the currency used by the chat group to represent value. Ordinary group owner, do you want points? This will only be available after the sign-in function, recycling function, and task function are enabled. Son of nature, then the point is the point. Son of nature, in addition to the sign-in function, you need enough strength for both recycling and tasks. After all, you are just an ordinary person. If your family is rich and can buy things for recycling, that's another story. Son of nature, so if you want to gain points, the most important thing for you is strength. If you don't have strength, you can only rely on points to get points. Even if you can become stronger, it will probably take a lot of time. Son of nature, personally, I recommend the Phantom Beast Devil Fruit. After all, the world is different, and your physical fitness and pirate world cannot be generalized. Son of nature, if the elemental system and some superhuman systems can't improve your physical fitness, then it's over. After all, the abilities of the pirate world consume physical strength. End of this chapter. Chapter 8. All the gifts of fate have already been marked with prices in secret. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 8. All the gifts of fate have already been priced in secret. Son of nature, if the physical fitness is not good, it will be useless to use a few big moves. Kakashi, who can compare with Hokage, may not be as good. Son of nature, phantom beasts can not only greatly improve your physical fitness, allow you to practice domineering, equip Sharingan, but also have great potential. Child of nature, what do you think? Worst elf, applause. JPG. Uchiha dance king, applause. JPG. Be my son, applause. JPG. Boil Daegu into soup, applause. JPG. Ordinary group leader, we didn't think about it at all before, it's amazing. Ordinary group owner, thumbs. JPG. It's not a compliment, it's Su Yinqing's words from the bottom of her heart. She only thought of the flaws of devil fruits, and she was only concerned that the current chat groups do not have the ability to erase the flaws of devil fruits, but she didn't expect that strength is the most important thing for her now, whether it is the safety of the main world or the way to obtain points after the subsequent chat group ability is opened. Strength is needed to maintain it. Without points, even if the optimization function is turned on in the chat group, what can she do? Accumulate points by signing in. How long will that take? Son of nature, it's understandable that they didn't consider me. After all, they are relatively new to chat groups, and they pay more attention to the present, but you. You are a time traveler, and you have become the group leader of the chat group, so you have a little confidence in the chat group. Ordinary group leader, ahem, well, let's talk about something else. Su Yunqing turned his head in embarrassment, thinking it would be better to change the topic. Son of nature, then I will continue. Son of nature, the analysis is almost done, the only problem now is the preciousness of the phantom beast devil fruit. Son of nature, I know that the phantom beast devil fruits in One Piece have the form of the Sengoku Renren fruit phantom beast Buddha, and the Marco bird fruit phantom beast phoenix fruit. Son of nature, the phantom beast Orochi fruit of Heighten Orochi snake fruit, Katarina's nine-tailed fox fruit, and Kaido's Yu fruit phantom beast blue dragon form, which is the most expressive. Son of nature, of course I'm not sure about Kaido, because I didn't think much about the later One Piece. Son of nature, there are only these 5 phantom beast species that have appeared in the entire pirate world, and the owners of each are not weak. Son of nature, aside from Marco, if it is the other 4 species of phantom beasts, the only way to obtain them is to deprive them of their abilities through the dark fruit, but this is difficult even for Whitebeard. Son of nature, after all, their strength is not considered weak, and Whitebeard's current state is not considered good. Son of nature, so, you still have to rely on the whole Whitebeard pirates to find it, you still have to wait. Son of nature, you should know about Tiki, Ace, and the battle on the top, right? Be my son, the group owner uploaded a memory copy on the first day I joined the group. Be my son, Tiki. Hidden in the old man's pirate group for so many years for a devil fruit, the old man really underestimated him. There was some complexity in Whitebeard's eyes. He really regarded Tiki as his son, and he never thought that such a bold and honest guy would hide so deeply, whether it is strength or heart. Be my son, I understand what you mean. Compared with the fate of the Whitebeard pirates, a phantom beast devil fruit is nothing. Be my son, I will try my best to find the most suitable Eudemon's devil fruit for the group leader. Son of nature, of course, I believe in Daddy's reputation. Son of nature, I'm just reminding the group owner. Ordinary group leader. Ordinary group leader, remind me what? I panic when you say that. Son of nature, all the gifts of fate have already been secretly priced. Son of nature, the information you know is just an animation in your eyes, but to others it is their future, the possibility for them to change their destiny and save everything. Child of nature, you can be selfish in exchange for something that is useful to you, after all, what you pay for is extremely expensive. This is also the reason why almost all the protagonists in all chat group novels will exchange the information they know for things. It's nothing more than how many things there are. This was Su Yunqing's first time seeing him. Uchiha Dance King, all the gifts of fate have already been secretly priced. Uchiha Dance King, that's a good sentence, newcomer, I admit you. The most evil elf, Allah, the group leader is indeed too kind. I don't know what this information means to us. The worst elf, if the group leader needs it, I can do anything for the group leader. Ordinary group leader, that's such a misunderstanding, let me tell you first that I don't have any hobbies in that area. That's it meow, we still haven't caught Pikachu, damn it, that's it meow, but the stinky brat really didn't win the championship, meow. That's it meow, meow meow licking claw.jpg. Golden Flash, is the upstairs not on the same channel as us? Forget it, just like, children of nature, the group leader's information is very important to me. Golden Flash, if the group leader needs it, please be sure to speak up. Namake's Minato thought firmly in his heart. Because Uchiha Madara is not interested in his future, Su Yunqing did not release Hokage's memory copy before. And it happened that Namake's Minato came in, so she posted it, but it was not in the same style as the original, but she sent out the places that she thought were more important and should be seen by Namake's Minato, for example, what happened to Naruto when he was a child, such as where Naruto lived, such as Naruto's outrageously low living expenses, etc. Of course, the Nine-Tails Rebellion will definitely happen, otherwise there will be no follow-up. There is no doubt that this information is simply too important for Minato Namake's, whether it was the Nine-Tails Rebellion or Naruto's encounter. Konoha's malice towards Naruto almost made him think, is this the Konoha I desperately guarded? It would be better if they all died. He still can't understand why the third Hokage did this. Because of his former enemy, hiding Naruto's identity? Are you joking around with me? The entire Konoha surname is Uzumaki, except for his wife Uzumaki Kushina and Ichime Hokage's wife Uzumaki Mito, right? With a swirling surname, could they be fools? They can't guess that Naruto is my son. End of this chapter. Chapter 9 The Future Great Magus, Abilities, Locked. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Hiding the identity of Nine-Tails Jinchuriki. Look at those villagers who have a demon fox on the left and a demon fox on the right barking around. They almost didn't directly put the title of Nine-Tails Jinchuriki on Naruto's head. The son of a hero is treated like this. He really doesn't know how to express his current mood. It was also hard for him to imagine that his son could be so sunny and kind after receiving such treatment. This made him not know whether to be happy or sad. As a Hokage, he certainly hopes that his son can achieve this level, but as a father, he hopes that those who hurt his son will be punished as they should. Fortunately, he is still alive, and everything can be changed, so he was extremely grateful to the group leader for telling himself this important future, son of nature. That's about it. Let's talk slowly. I'm going to have a class here. Ordinary group leader. Sure enough, no matter how many times I watch it, going to school or something still feels weird. Bai Xian didn't know how Su Yunqing felt. The reason he withdrew from the chat group was because their homeroom teacher had already entered. The morning reading time of 3 to 10 minutes has passed unknowingly while everyone is pointing out the country and stimulating the text. Even now, many people are still immersed in the fantasy of the future. I didn't know the arrival of the head teacher at all. The head teacher with thinning hair was not angry when he saw their appearance. He leaned against the door and drank wolfberry tea to watch their performance. If it were in the past, when the voices became smaller and smaller, the voices of other people would unconsciously drop until no one spoke. But today, perhaps because of the superpower thing is too explosive, their immersion is deeper than in the past. Minutes passed and no one noticed a change. Boom. 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 Ouch. Who hit me? Don't you know how powerful I am, brother? I'm the future great magister of the fire department. Who dares to hit me? Wait, is this strength? A few chalkheads headed directly towards their heads as if they were locked, and the sudden pain also woke them up and stood up angrily looking for the enemy. Then, why is no one talking anymore? Don't you want me to see how awesome you are? Our future great magister of the fire department is silent. How can I, a small head teacher, offend you? The homeroom teacher said a few times angrily, and they scratched their heads in embarrassment, and quickly sat up, slightly nodded. The homeroom teacher took a sip from the teacup, and then said, I can understand your excitement. Have you awakened your superpowers? I was as excited as you last night, but what? Old class, are you awakened too? Before the homeroom teacher finished speaking, Sun Chang asked with an incredulous expression on his face, It's fine if the classmates are awakened, but even the teacher is awakened? Then my parents won't wake up too, right? I pretended to be compared in front of them in the morning. If they also awakened, wouldn't he have made another joke? Why do I wake up and you are dissatisfied? Lao Ban squinted his eyes at Sun Chang, and the chalk heads were already in his hand. No, I'm just a little surprised. Sun Chang's body trembled, and then he hurriedly said haha. You go on. Only then did Lao Ban put down the chalk and continue talking. My awakened superpower is called locking. It's too troublesome to explain it specifically. You can use it as a lock in the game. Any attack will attack the place I locked. Fuck me, lock. If this is equipped with a gun or a bow, wouldn't it be invincible in the early stage? Hearing the superpower of my homeroom teacher, not only the other students, but even Bai Xian couldn't help but slapped his mouth twice. This ability should not be too fierce in the early stage. Whether it is with bows and arrows or firearms, with this superpower, it is almost invincible. Ahem, don't be so surprised, my ability is also limited by distance. It's only about 7 or 8 meters at the moment. Old Ban coughed twice and explained. Is this plausible, or else it's too exaggerated? I don't really care about distance. I can kill people halfway across the world. The real version makes bullets fly. So far so good. Hearing this restriction, everyone calmed down, but it should be said or not, this ability is still terrifying. Okay, calm down and listen to me, you will have time to talk later. The country attaches great importance to the matter of superpowers, and the school has also been ordered by its superiors to conduct relevant investigations and cooperate. So, those who have awakened their abilities stand up. The students looked left to left and right to right, but no one stood up. His face looked like I haven't awakened superpowers, don't look at me. You guys have watched too many Lighthouse movies. The homeroom teacher was also a little speechless. He never expected his students to be so restrained. Didn't you guys have a good chat when I didn't come in? We are China, not a lighthouse. No one will arrest you for research. Besides, as far as the ratio of awakened superpowers is concerned, some of the army have superpowers, and some are volunteers who are willing to be studied. It's nobody's turn but your turn. Everyone is not very old, but they have a lot of eyes. Really? As he was talking, the old class felt like laughing. The students in his class were really weirder than the last. Okay, I'll just say it. Those who have awakened their abilities will follow me to the playground to demonstrate their abilities and then register. This file will be saved, and it will give you extra points in the college entrance examination. Everyone thinks what their own country thinks. China is the safest country in the world. Everyone has a little confidence in their own country. Although they were complained twice by the class teacher, they were not embarrassed at all. After all, it is about one's own life, who should be more cautious, but just to register. Old Ban, will the country form an association of superpowers? Like the Avengers, the Dragon Group or something? Zhang Weiyang said slightly excitedly. After all, this is a large-scale awakening of abilities. It cannot be limited to us humans. Those beasts, insects, and plants may also awaken. Maybe they will compete with us for the supremacy of the earth in the future. The country will definitely form forces to resist. That he was so yearning for the silently hidden organizations that guarded the country that existed in the novel, and even frantically searched for these mysterious organizations on the internet for a period of time, but found nothing. What I found were all things from those novels. End of this chapter. Chapter 10 Fantasy of Supernatural Power, The Temptation of Slippery Fruit and Sweet Fruit. You are listening at novelfull.audio. But it was precisely because he couldn't find it that he believed more and more that there were mysteries in this world. These mysterious organizations existed, but they couldn't appear in front of the public because of their own reasons. However, as he read more and more novels, and learned more and more knowledge about reality, his illusions about these became smaller, and finally he completely distinguished reality from illusion. But it's different now, the aura is revived, and they have even awakened their abilities. Regardless of whether the revival of spiritual energy will affect plants and beasts, some people will definitely have other thoughts after the awakening of supernatural powers. Even for the purpose of managing them, the country will establish relevant organizations. I just don't know if this organization will be open to the public, and those who meet the standards can join it. The old class didn't know what to say for a while. Do you have to think so big about your fucking brain? The ability that was only awakened yesterday, is thinking about competing for the supremacy of the earth today. Are you thinking about the end of the world tomorrow? But don't talk about it. What this guy said is quite reasonable, but Lao Ban's face darkened. Do you think I, your class teacher, have the right to know about this kind of thing? That how can I, a small class teacher, guess what the country thinks? Besides, if I guess wrong, I don't want to lose face. You will know about this later. After perfunctory Zhang Weiyang, the head teacher looked at the students in front of him with some seriousness. Students, I know that the awakening of abilities has a greater impact on everyone. Perhaps this symbolizes a new era and a new opportunity. In the future, China and the world will undergo drastic changes because of our ability to awaken. Although I am a teacher, I am not qualified to ask you to do something. I just hope everyone remembers, don't rely on your own ability to do illegal and taboo things. If you are poor, you will be alone, and if you are rich, you will benefit the world. The greater the ability, the greater the responsibility. Even if you don't want to bear the responsibility brought by your own ability, I hope you will not take the initiative to destroy this hard-won peace. Of course, our current ability is still very weak, and it is only an exaggeration to say that it affects the world. What we can do is to cooperate with the country's actions and complete the record of our own ability. I also hope that all the students can take the initiative to cooperate and not cause trouble to the country. The times are different, and the way of education is also different. Novels, anime, and movies have a great influence on a person's thinking. It can not only magnify a person's good side, but also stimulate a person's evil side. After all, it is difficult to be a good person, but it is easy to be a bad person. He will not ask his students to be good people, but he also hopes that his students will not become evil people. They who have awakened their abilities at this age are all pretentious. And if they are not careful, it will cause irreversible consequences. As their teacher, he doesn't want this to happen to his students, and the students can understand what the old class said, so they all said seriously. Don't worry, old class, we will definitely cooperate. Yes, although we are talking about a new era, we also know the value of peace. The greater the ability, the greater the responsibility. I may not be able to make selfless dedication, but I can still do what I can. It's just a registration, it's not a troublesome thing. Yes, I used to envy those who have the ability to register with the police. As long as it does not involve being experimentally studied, the students are still very cooperative, and they also know how precious peace is. Just look at those war-torn countries and you will know how terrible war is. They don't want their country to become like that. The head teacher nodded in relief when he heard the students' words. Okay, now please stand up those who have awakened their abilities. Follow me to the playground to register. Don't worry if you haven't awakened your abilities. Everyone's physique is different, and the speed of awakening abilities is also different, and no matter how the world changes, reading is our first task as students. You wait in the class for a while, the math teacher will come to teach you after registration. After hearing the head teacher's words, the eyes of those without awakening abilities lit up instantly. They thought they had no qualifications for awakening abilities, but they didn't expect that it was just because of their physique. So far so good. As for the study is the first task of the students behind the class teacher, it has been omitted by those who only have supernatural powers in their minds. It turned out to be because of my physique. It scared me to death. I thought I was a supporting role. The supporting roles are those who have awakened their abilities. Haven't you seen such a large proportion? Those who have not awakened like us are secondary roles. It's nonsense. The first round of awakening like this is just a trick, and the protagonist is the last to appear. Okay, have you heard of the waste wood? That's true. After knowing that they can awaken, their originally lost and even desperate moods calmed down instantly, smiles appeared on their faces again. You can even use the theory of protagonist and supporting role to comfort yourself who has not been awakened for the time being. That's what I said, but I still envy them for awakening. Yeah, at least their abilities already exist, and we are imagining them. Hey, I hope my ability is stronger. I don't ask too much, just a space system. Time is also fine. Space. Time. I think you're thinking about farts. I'm not as greedy as you, just have a special ability like Luffy's rubber fruit, which can be long or short, thick or thin. Hey, it's disgusting. Everyone moved away from him in an instant, and even drove at a young age. Do you have a driver's license? What's the meaning of rubber? Invisibility is king, do you understand? A sunny boy like me should have such abilities. Hey, smelly shameless. I want abilities like slippery fruit or sweet fruit. But aren't you a man? What's wrong with the guy? It's not about gender, it's about appearance. That the person spoke righteously, and many people around him nodded thoughtfully. Makes sense. Now appearance is the most important thing, and the ability to slippery fruit and sweet fruit is also very strong. Hiss, it seems that it is not impossible. Bai Xian and the others couldn't help rolling their eyes when they heard what they said. Each of them really thought about it. At this time, there were already many people in the playground, not only Bai Xian and his class, but also many people in other classes. at the front end, many teachers could be seen demonstrating their abilities and registering. One teacher actually grew a furry fox tail, which made them take a second look. Well, really just 2 eyes, I promise. End of this chapter.